What is going on? Do you want to know the real reason why most coaches, consultants, and service based businesses fail when hiring closers and appointment setters? Because this one really annoys me. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why this keeps happening for 80+% of the whole market and how to actually fix it so you never have issues hiring closers again. If you guys don't know me already, my name's Tom Hyder. I run a company called Systemized Scaling where we essentially help coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses hire closers and place them into their business that actually close. So I really want to show you this image, and you're probably thinking, why on earth are you showing me an image of a hamster and a hamster wheel? Essentially, the hamster wheel represents the business, right? And the hamster itself represents the closers are being onboarded into the business. Now, what most coaches do is they hire a closer. Maybe the closer stays for 2 months and then they leave. Or they hire a closer, they don't perform to KPIs, they get fired. And they keep on going through this hamster wheel of closers in, closes out, appointment setters in, appointment setters out, and they never get past it. They never scale so that the hamster can stay on the hamster wheel and just keep on performing. It never gets to that point. And what they actually think is, oh, it's the closer's fault. Yeah, I'm not hiring good enough closers. You know, they're just not at the level that I want to actually perform in my business. But this is actually far from the truth. And I'm essentially going to go through why and how to actually remedy this in the rest of this video. So let me just reframe you guys and just give you a new perspective. What you can see here is a driver and a car, but you could probably tell something, right? This is an expert driver, aka a top closer, but this is a pretty shitty car, right? And look, there's two things that's really going to happen from this pair. The expert driver is probably going to get bored from driving this piece of shit and want to go in a new vehicle, right? Or they're just going to be capped. Do you think an expert driver is actually going to be able to max out its potential in this vehicle? Probably not. This piece of shit can only do about 80 miles per hour maximum, maybe breaking down if you go to 90 miles per hour. As expert as they are, they can only do 80 miles an hour. So it's just not really much point placing them. So as you can see, your driver, aka your closer, will quickly find a new vehicle, leaving your company and finding a new company that can get them to the OTE that they're looking for. And they're going to be capped at a certain point, meaning even if they are so skillful, they can't do anything with the leads you're getting or the show up rate or the actual vehicle itself. And most coaches, most service-based businesses, they do it the opposite way. They do it the wrong way. They look for the expert driver first, right? They look for the expert driver and they think, this is going to solve my problems. If I find a top quality closer, my business is going to scale to 50K a month, 100K a month. I'm going to be living life. But they don't actually factor in the vehicle itself. Whereas if you really want to scale, if you really want a smooth process to finding good quality closers and onboarding them, and replacing yourself with sales, you have to find this first. You have to make sure that your vehicle, aka your business, is a good vehicle first. And then we take you to this. This represents the good vehicle, right? Most coaches, like I said, they focus on the driver first. But if you really want to scale and hire good quality closers, you want to focus on this thing first. You want to make sure that your vehicle is dialed in so that you can attract loads of these. So you can attract so many closers who just want to throw themselves at your offer. And that's exactly how you take on closers and you make sure they perform and you actually get to your goals. Look, if you have this, pretty shit arrow there. If you have this, then everyone is going to work for your business. Everyone is going to want to come screaming and just sprinting towards your business because you have the vehicle that they want to drive, as opposed to your business and your systems and your process being like this. Who's going to want to drive this vehicle, right? When they have this straight in front of them. It means if your competitors have a better system and a better vehicle than you, they're going to come straight to them instead, right? Closers are going to come straight to your competitors, leaving you out of business and being overtaken. But how do you actually get this vehicle? You're probably saying, yeah, this is all good, Tom, but how do I get this vehicle, right? How do I attract these top talent closers so I can actually get off sales calls and scale past 50K to 100K a month? How do I find this? And it's simple, right? You've got to get the right sales process. Vehicle is the systems behind it. Right? The reason this is a good vehicle and this has a good system is because it has great brakes, right? It has great software inside that makes the engine tick. It has great spoilers. It has everything, the bumper, it has everything that makes it a great system and a great vehicle. It means that when this person jump straight into the vehicle, they can perform with ease. So how do we actually get it? First of all, you want to focus on the closing rate. There is no point in hiring a closer if you as the founder are closing below 30 to 25%. I'd say 30%. Any below 30%, there's no point in hiring. Reason being is every single business owner typically has the highest close rate because they're the founder, it's their baby, and they know the most about it. What usually happens when hiring sales talent, sales reps, setters onto your business is their performance will definitely dip below yours. So if you have a closing rate of 20 to 25%, the closer you place is going to close at 10 to 15% on average. And that's just how it goes because they don't have as much oomph as you do about the business. They don't have as much conviction. So if you're closing at 20%, maybe even 18%, no point in hiring a closer because you don't have the vehicle ready for a closer to close at a decent level. If a closer comes on board, they're just going to waste leads, waste money for the business, and waste time. So the first thing you want to do to making sure your vehicle is at F1 level, at race car level, is make sure you're closing at a decent pace. And with all our clients, we focus on a decent selling framework. In my case, I like to use the authenticity-based selling framework to make you feel comfortable with speaking to people, not forcing it and saying, oh, how does that make you feel? That bullshit. And then making sure the offer economics are on point. You've got good guarantees, you've got good payment plans, you've got funding structures, so leads can actually facilitate their needs to jump on board. And once the closing rate is at a consistent 30, 50%, that's how you know if you do onboard a closer, they're going to close at a decent level, 25, maybe 30% themselves, which is great, right? And that's why most closers will stay because they can actually earn some money. It's what most closers actually want, funny enough. Second thing you want to do to build a good vehicle is to make sure you have decent lead quality and show up rate. If your lead quality is pretty low, you're getting people from, third world countries. I was going to say India then, but there's some rich people in India. Third world countries who can't actually afford your service and your closer's just wasting time when it could be on a better offer, then they're not going to stay too long, right? Same with the show rate. If your closer has 10 calls booked into the calendar and only 3 of them show up, do you think they're going to be happy? Probably not. So the second thing you can do is make sure you dial in the show up rate above 70% and you have a decent lead quality, right? How I like to do this on a vague level is making sure you have objection handling content that you can send over to leads in the appointment setting process to handle objections, make them a bit more warmer, and dialing in the appointment setting, nurturing process before they jump on a call, right? Ideal goal here is to make sure leads are warm and qualified. Okay, that's the second part. If you have both of these, it's a bit better to attract closers and actually keep them on instead of just churning through loads and loads and loads. Next one is follow-up and revenue system. All right, as a closer, as you probably know in my past videos, 30+% of all my monthly profit and the cash I generated for businesses was from follow-up and referrals. So if you have this process inbound, your closers that you onboard will make 30% more and they'll make you 30% more as the business. And only then you can onboard a closer. But even if you onboard a really good closer and they don't have the training manual for this, if they don't have the manual, they don't know how to operate it, it's probably going to take them 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, maybe even 2 months to even start to know how it works. That's why on onboarding, you need to have a good training and onboarding process. You need to have an SOP in place to be able to train these closers, know exactly how we're going to get them up to a quick ramp up time. Right? We don't want closers just being trained and not really knowing what to do for weeks and weeks and weeks. We've got to get them up to scratch quick. And this is done by having good training in place and good onboarding in place. Right? And then the last one to make sure you have a decent vehicle is the sales infrastructure. And we do this specifically with our clients with automations. For example, automating certain notifications to Slack to make sure that closers know what to do, to make sure that the updates for calls are in line with the whole team, and the data tracker and CRM. If the closer doesn't have a CRM, they're not going to be able to follow up effectively with prospects, and they're going to lose out on this 30% cash as we just went through. And the data tracker is diagnosis. If you know what data is shortcoming, then you know what to work on and what remedies to actually feed it, right? So as you can probably see, this is essentially how you build a good vehicle and how you're going to actually attract these top tier closers. If you don't have a good vehicle first, you're toast. You're going to go through this hamster wheel like we just went through of closers coming in, closers coming out, closers coming in. You're going to waste money, you're going to waste time, and you're going to be pretty pissed off. So if you want to gain one thing from this video, it's focus on the vehicle, and your sales process, the infrastructure behind your business before you go and hire a closer, because a closer is not going to fix your business if you have a shit sales process. That is the video. That's my point across. Any questions, drop me a message at TomHyder_ on Instagram. If you want to learn how we actually build this sales process, build you the vehicle, and then place a expert driver in your business, then drop me a message or just book in a call below in the description. Adios.